What's up, everybody? It's Hunter Oakley here. I'm back with another video. Commercial Dive School week 20 done, checked off. This week is all about salvage theory and kind of learning everything. I'll dig deeper into it, but if you're not familiar with what I'm doing like weekly recaps of how my school up in this Seattle, Washington, called the Divers Institute of Technology goes. So I basically just come on here every week and explain to you guys what I'm up to. And if you're curious and have any questions, hit me up about them. So anyways, this week is the first week of salvage theory. So we basically learn everything. You have to learn all the different techniques of how to patch a boat, how to figure out the lifting capacity of an object. There's a whole bunch of different factors that go into it. This was one of those things that coming into school, I was like, this is kind of going to be one of those parts. I wasn't really interested in it, but the further we got into this, it almost seems like one of my most favorite type of deals, because it's so non-repetitive. Every job's different. It's not going to be the same thing. One of our instructors was telling us he had a barge sink twice in the exact same spot, like 2 weeks later, and the second week took them like twice, 3 times as long, and they went in there thinking they were about to rock that job, because they're like, we just did it 2 weeks ago. It's like, so it totally depends on where it lands and mud suction and everything behind that. So basically the first day, Monday, we went over salvage theory and chose our teams. So we're going to be bringing up a 14,000 pound boat that is on the campus that has all these different types of flaws in it that we have to go down there and patch and then bring up. So our class split into 3 teams. 2 I think have 7 and my team has 6. So we came up with that. We just basically did PowerPoints all day Monday, learning everything, and then chose the teams. Then Tuesday we got to set up. So they showed us kind of the rough setup of how we're gonna be making the lift on this big boat. So there's an extra compressor. There's a whole bunch of different things that go into lifting this thing. 2 different pontoons. We obviously have to patch all the holes in it. And also on Tuesday, I went down and did the survey dive. So each team got to do survey dives. So at this point, we didn't know the weight of it. We went down, took our measurements of the boat, then added up all the area, and we were told that it was a certain amount of weight per square foot. So we took the area of the whole entire boat, multiplied that by that weight, and then you get the weight of the boat. So we had to do a whole bunch of math and stuff to figure out what we needed to lift that, whether we were going to be using lift bags, pontoons. So we wanted to make sure that we knew and had the right amount of lift to do so. Obviously, it's for training purposes, so we know that it's been done before. But anyways, they want you to know the reason, which I'm glad that I know the reason too. But anyway, so we went down there, took measurements, scoped everything out, kind of drew up a rough draft, and found out where all the holes and everything were. So then when we come to actually make the lift, we know exactly where everything is. We have a plan of who's doing what, when, and where, and why. So that's kind of concluded Tuesday. Wednesday was a little bit more setup, a little bit deeper setup on the barge, showing us how to set up the CP hoses and they call it the pig. It's just another compressor that runs to the pontoons, because there's 3 different compartments on the pontoons with quarter turn valves to let the air into them once they get sunk, and we attach them to the boat. So it's kind of a lot that goes into this. I'm not going to go too in deep with it because you guys obviously can't see it and scope it out. But anyways, so we got more set up into that, and then we reviewed our test that was on Thursday. So we just kind of went over that, and that wasn't very hard. And then we wrote up the salvage plan on the board. The instructor went through it with us, kind of gave us a rough draft. He told us straight up, he's like, we're not going to hold your hand. This is your crew, your team. Try to figure it out. Obviously, they're going to stop us if we're doing something that's going to hurt ourselves. But for the most part, he's like, I'm going to just let you guys, I'm going to give you the small steps and how we do this. And you guys can come up with it yourself. And whatever you think's fastest, easiest, whatever, then do so. So we, me and my team, came up with a plan on, there's 3 dives for the lift to make the lift happen. There's the patching dive, there's the rigging dive, and then there's the de-rigging dive. And so we figured out who's doing what, kind of came up with a dive bill, and you have to write up a whole report on this just like it was a normal job. So we're doing everything from our dive bill to JSA to everything. We even are going to probably put in like the weather and stuff like that. So we started that, and on Thursday we took the salvage test. Wasn't too complicated, and then we finished our dive plan for the most part. Still some work to do over the weekend, but for the most part, we everybody knows at least what they're doing and knows what everybody else is doing, so we're all on the same page because we're the first group to be up on Monday, so we really got to know what we're doing. And then we were actually able to have enough time today to rip down to the barge, and me and one of my partners or whatever in classmates, we're able to clear out the mud because the boat is sitting crooked on another boat down there that we're using for that fire boat that I was telling you about in previous videos. Well, the salvage boat is sitting on it crooked, so those pad eyes that we need to get to are stuck down into the mud. So luckily we had enough time to go down there, crank out like a 40-minute dive, 30-minute dive, and dig out those pad eyes. So on Monday when we go to make the lift, we will be able to just crank it out and get her done. So that's all for this week. I mean, nothing too crazy happening. A lot of math and stuff like that. Figuring out different patches and all sorts of stuff. Nothing too exciting for you guys, but Monday should be awesome. I'm stoked that we're the first team to go. So wish us luck, and we will see you next week on the next one, and I'll let you know how our lift goes. Thanks a lot. Later.